Next, we have Ariel and Becca with the Coos History Museum.
One of y'all want to share?
Becca, you want to take that?
Yeah, I can start off and I'll let you finish. We have a lot going on behind the scenes at the museum, and that's where we need most of our volunteers. And downstairs, our biggest concern right now with volunteers is that we don't have them for people who want to come into the museum and visit us. We don't have anybody enough. We don't have enough people to staff front desk. And that's a 3-hour-a-week gig. And it's wonderful because you get to meet all these wonderful people who come in and chat with them and learn about them. And then you get to tell the merits of Coos County and our history and learn more about it while you're doing it. So it's absolutely fabulous. So that's our biggest thing, those front desk volunteers. And we love, 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 love our volunteers here. We have projects with scanning. We have projects with archives. We have projects with photos. We have all these different projects, and people always go, there's nobody here. Why are there so many cars in the parking lot? Everybody's upstairs doing volunteer work. So it's nice to see them come in and do things. We also have data entry needs. We have taking care of helping with the exhibits. They need to be cleaned every now and then. They need to have things rearranged, all these little things that happen. And then we have our education aspect, which I'll let Ariel take over.
Thanks, Becca.
So as far as education, we actually have very few volunteers right now. And we do have volunteers physically in the building right now. There is some opportunity to also work remotely if you want to join the education department in any way. And there are some things that you could do. They would be probably online, obviously. So you'd have to be comfortable with that. But like I said, we're also having people in the museum, everything from, creating Explorers Club activities for children and families, finding Tuesday Talk presenters for our lecture series, helping with our traveling trunk program that we're starting up right now, especially with fun activities and curriculum development. All sorts of just adult and children programming. So if there's pretty much something for everybody. So if you're at all interested, or if you want to just learn more too about kind of what an education person does at a museum, I could also use some help with some kind of day-to-day things as well. So hopefully someone will be interested in joining us. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ariel. Appreciate it. Anybody have any questions at this point? Yay, nay? Who do we got next, Joshua?
Is anyone from the Curry County Homeless Coalition here?
I don't know that anybody showed up.
Okay.
What was the name I had on the spreadsheet?
Beth Barker Hidalgo.
I don't think Beth is here. No, I don't see her.
Okay. So next we have Every Child in Curry, bonnie.ell.
Go Bonnie, please.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm bonnie.ell, Program Director of Every Child Curry under United Way of Southwestern Oregon. And Every Child is a statewide community mobilization initiative to help just bring community members into the foster system, really to partner alongside us to support vulnerable families and children. And so we do this by providing them with small but meaningful ways to get involved. And so that might look like being a volunteer at a foster parent night out event to provide a little respite for foster families and provide a safe, loving environment for kiddos in care. That might mean donating a box of diapers or wipes or food or clothing, bedding to children in the foster system. And that's through a program called My Neighbor. We also have volunteers that support our local child welfare staff by doing monthly hospitality touches, which Trisha on this call is one of them. And she just put together just such a neat little, it was a thanks a latte card and a cup of just treats and just a note, just letting them know we appreciate the hard work they do. So we could have more volunteers on board to help with that hospitality touch. We also have a tutoring and enrichment program. And so we have a weekly opportunity for youth in care to have one-on-one tutoring with volunteers from the community. And then the second part of that is an enrichment activity, which we had someone step up who's a carpenter and he helped them make birdhouses, which was awesome. This next session, they'll be doing handiwork with a seamstress who's donating her skills. So it's open to a wide range of community members and the ways that they have to get involved. We also have, let's see, I mean, of course, there's opportunities to open up your homes to children in care as well. And we have Explore Fostering Coffee House events. There's actually one tonight. So I'm going to post that link. And we really partner with our affiliates from across the state. So the goal is that every child will be in every county in Oregon by 2022. And so any event that you see from another affiliate county, you can hop on if that date works better for you. But there's a panel of foster parents, child welfare staff to just answer questions and see what the foster journey is all about. There are also opportunities just for providing respite. So maybe you can help with, an all-day childcare situation or a weekend. Anything, would help a family who have opened up their doors to kiddos. So I know Grant is going to also be sharing, so I won't steal all the thunder, but I'll put some links in the chat. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Bonnie. And I wanted to add to what Bonnie was saying that, fostering is a full-time job. There's no breaks. So I'm sure, some of these foster parents would just like a night to go out to dinner or to see a movie, when it's safe, of course. But so there are many different opportunities, right, Bonnie? You don't have to actually foster a child to volunteer.
Right, and that's what Every Child is really doing. It's providing all of these different on-ramps for community members to get involved, in ways that they didn't know were available. So
cool, thanks, Bonnie. And I want to note, Greg we had an Every Child volunteer at our office today helping to set up Bread Day for foster parents. They are super, he said. Also see this event as a way for you guys to network with each other because, we can all work together to make our communities better. Thanks so much, Bonnie. Does anybody have any questions for Bonnie or anybody else?
I do, Paul. I'm just curious.
Sure.
Is Every Child part of the Department of Human Services or is it a separate entity?
Separate, but we work closely in partnership with them.
So if someone wanted to be a foster parent, are they a foster parent with you? Like, are you a private foster agency, foster licensing agency?
It's a great question. We actually have a platform that connects Every Child inquiry. So if anyone is interested in learning more about fostering, they can go to our Every Child website and submit an inquiry or interest form, and that will go to ODHS.
Oh, okay.
And they will get that notification. And then our Every Child affiliates will also get that notification. So we can kind of have a double layer of support and making sure that those people are supported and contacted. But yeah, so we work very closely in partnership, but separate entities.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good question, Sue. Great. Anybody else have any questions for Bonnie or anybody else?
Is there a list of all of the presenters today with their contact information available?
I do have a list of all the organizations, but I don't, I do have all their contact information. So Carrie, if you wanted to contact me, assuming everybody here's willing to share their contact information, I can put you in contact with specific organizations or all. Is that cool?
That would be great with me.
I'm gonna put my email in the chat. If I can type. But yeah, also everybody has my contact info in the Zoom reminder or the Zoom registration email you got. So feel free to contact me if you need to get in touch with any of these organizations. Also, people are putting their contact information as they speak or periodically putting it in. And I want to remind people that you need to put it in every so often so people can see it who've logged in. Yes, good point, Jen. I can add the contact information when I post the video. Great point. And that way I can double check with the organizations for best contact info too. Okay. Did I see another organization roll in? I thought.
Yes, Paul, actually that is Beth from the Homeless Coalition. She
Oh,
just
great.
arrived.
I missed her. Are you here, Beth?
Hi, I'm
Oh, there you
here.
are. Excellent.
Yeah, we're out here at the Go Beach Community Center doing our Wednesday outreach today from 10 to 2. And this is our location. And yeah, I just put our website and my email address in the chat. And we are getting ready to hire some staff, but we are also always looking for volunteers to help support in a variety of ways. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth. And that is the Curry Homeless Coalition, correct, Beth?
The Curry County Homeless Coalition. We serve the county. We partner up with Coast Community Health up north. We partner with Brookings Homeless Task Force in the south, St. Timothy's, Brookings Harbor Community Food Bank. So lots of partners here in Curry. Many hands make light work for us all.
Awesome. Great point, Beth. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You're welcome.
Did anybody have any questions for Beth or any other organizations, or did anybody want to hear from a specific organization? And attendees, feel free to speak up because we'd rather like cover an organization you're interested while you're here than cover other. Oh, Darcy wants to hear from the Ombudsman. Can you all go next?
Woohoo, yeah, that's exciting. Hi.
Perfect. I'm glad I asked.
So my name is Natasha Adams, and I am with the Office of the Long-Term Care Ombudsman. We are an independent state agency that trains volunteers to become advocates for residents in long-term care facilities and adult foster homes. So I think to most of you, it's not a surprise that long-term care facilities have their issues, and with COVID, those have been really highlighted and sort of exploded, and more folks are understanding what some of the issues are within long-term care. And so we have always used volunteers. We've been around since 1981. Currently, statewide, we have about 160 volunteers, which means we cover about 48% of the facilities in Oregon. Specifically for Coos, we have 12 facilities and 6 volunteers in the community. In Curry, we have 6 facilities and only 2 volunteers. So we are doing a lot of our work virtually right now, of course. Our trainings are virtual, which actually has forced us to become a little bit more technologically savvy and allows our trainings to be statewide. So we no longer have to wait for a certain amount of volunteers in each community to be able to host our trainings. It also has allowed us to advocate a little bit differently. We were able to get a grant and get iPads, pairs of iPads, and they speak only to each other. So we can go to a facility, drop off an iPad, remain outside, and speak with a resident who may be having concerns or issues. So a lot of our work right now is over the phone, but as the facilities open up, we are able to go back in. We are providing extra training for our volunteers in regards to personal protective equipment. We provide all of that for our volunteers, including those that want to be vaccinated. We're able to do that as well. So really the work that we do is to advocate for those in long-term care and make sure that they are able to live with dignity and respect. So if you know anyone that would make a great ombudsman, please let them know, and I'll keep posting information in the chat. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thanks, Natasha. Does anybody have any questions for Natasha and the long-term care ombudsman?
I do, actually. So what are you asking for the volunteers to do?
Yeah, so our volunteers go through an application process. Once they go through that, we do the training, and the training is around 35 hours. And once that is completed, you are onboarded, which means you are connected directly to your deputy ombudsman. So there is a staff person that directly works with each volunteer in each community. And you then are assigned to a specific facility, and then begin to get to know the residents in that facility. As that trust builds up, they will begin to tell you things from they want more salt in their dinner to maybe it takes 45 minutes for their call light to get answered. Maybe they're not being permitted to leave the facility, which actually is not lawful. If they want to leave, they can leave. So it really is a matter of getting to know the residents and then figuring out what their needs are. We then investigate and resolve the issue. What's great about this organization is that the volunteer isn't left to their own devices. They have that direct staff person. We have monthly team meetings where you meet with the ombudsman in your area, and everybody is there for a resource. So if for some reason there's a case that is challenging or makes you uncomfortable, we are able to either assign it to someone else or give you the resources to continue to work on that.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Darcy, for the specific questions. Can we hear, there's a request to hear from MRC. Is it Phillip? Wait, you got to unmute. Oh, there you go.
Sorry, what is the question?
Could you just share a little bit about your volunteer opportunities and what your organization's about?
Sorry, I was a little behind there.
That's okay.
Basically, we are a national network of volunteers. In Coos County, there's about 200 folks that volunteer. However, we do also accept members from our larger region, so Curry County, Jackson, Josephine, Lane, the whole region, because they don't have inherent units in those counties, so they fall under us. We run mostly medical operations, so we would surge the hospital in case they don't have enough staff and are flooded with victims or casualties or ill people. We would assist with wellness checks in the community, flu shot clinics. At the moment, we are staffing the pods that where the vaccines are dispensed. Those are all Medical Reserve Corps volunteers that are doing that. We also do the testing that was done earlier in the year at various locations in the county. In the case of any other emergency, we also assist. We've got the capability of setting up a mobile field hospital and staffing that, first aid posts, first aid stations, medical aid stations, even veterinary assistance can be provided. So there's a lot of opportunity, and it's people forget when you say medical or Medical Reserve Corps, they think doctors, nurses, and all that. Well, if you look at the triangle of any deployment, it's only that little part at the top that's medical. It's all this at the bottom that's needed to support and make that medical possible. And those are non-medical people. So you need everything from somebody who can direct traffic to a truck driver to forklift operators to somebody who can put up tents and help keep them up. Because when you are busy doing vaccinations and the wind comes up and starts rattling, you can't leave the vaccination to go grab tent poles and ropes and stuff and sort that out. So you need people dedicated to do that. People that can provide coffee and hot chocolate or something like that. Food, because when you're standing for an 8-hour day in one spot, pushing out vaccinations or, out in the cold, that's a long day.
Yeah.
So the whole full spectrum of people, we've got everything from surgeons, right through to housewives and self-employed. We've got farmers, we've got engineers. Everybody is welcome. We're looking for any kind of volunteer, and we do provide some training. We can't provide you license training to get your medical license up to date, but we can provide all kinds of other training, and we have a huge a lifetime's worth of training that you can get for free.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Philip. Does anybody have any questions for Philip or MRC, Medical Reserve Corps?
I've got some questions, not for the folks you've talked about, but
That's fine.
It seems that we have a large percentage of great people who are serving in, shall I say, South County. I know Douglas County is part of South County, but Douglas County, as I know it, is not really represented here for a multitude of areas. So I'm assuming or presume that Sue may have a list of all of your organizations. If somebody were to come to me and ask what is available in such and such, I couldn't give them an answer in any way to what the wealth of volunteer service that I'm seeing here. It seems like that should be available if it's not.
Yeah, good point, John. I can't really speak for Douglas County, and as a Coos Bay employee, I usually look out for Coos Bay and Coos County, but during the pandemic, we've kind of expanded our reach, and we've been working up and down the coast a lot. So I've been working a lot with Curry County organizations, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on in Douglas County.
Is anybody aware of something called Just Serve?
Just what?
Just Serve.
It sounds familiar.
I know it's over here. I see it in the paper. It's a list of places that people can serve. And it may or may not have a lot of what you have, but and I don't know a whole lot about it. I know I followed Just Serve. I've served with the homeless through them and some others. But anyhow,
good
I'm
question,
just sitting
John.
here.
And vaguely related to this, at 1 p.m., Stacy Reynolds from South Coast Connects, a local community website for the South Coast, will be sharing a brief demo on how you can share your volunteer opportunities or access volunteer opportunities on our local community website. So that might be a good place to start spreading the word, at least for local positions. But good question, John. Somebody also wanted to hear from Harmony and Me. I think, who is here from Harmony and Me? I got so many people. Oh, Trisha.
Trisha, hi.
Could you
Thank
share,
Thanks,
please?
everybody. Absolutely. Thanks so much. So the mission of Harmony and Me is essentially to break down barriers between differences, cultural differences, socioeconomical differences, any form of differences. So typically it was using music to connect individuals of varying physical, developmental, social, and cultural differences. What that looked like in real life was we were partnering with assisted living facilities with youth, young youth, and we would bring the preschoolers over to Azalea Gardens locally in Curry County, and we would do intergenerational music classes every week. With the memory care, we were doing drumming classes with the residents of memory care. We also had worked long-term with Good Samaritan. So that was pre-COVID. So post-COVID, with the generous support of many organizations, United Way of Southwestern Oregon, All Care, Oregon Cultural Trust Foundation, we have been able to implement portable tech labs, which then are allowing us to do Zoom music classes. But a real focus and additional programming is being expanded because of this new circumstance that we're in, and projects are just coming up, like Teens Teach Technology with these portable tech labs, which we have 5 portable tech labs to be delivered to the facilities. We've just had some COVID interruptions and everything happened. So, but they're already built and ready to go. It's an iPad and a Samsung tablet, all the peripherals, all the PPE necessary to do the Zoom classes, to also then utilize those services for connecting with their families. However we can, telemedicine, and then within that, wanting to bring in teens teach technology and really start to encompass a full youth and senior engagement from newborn to 18 to 21, just getting people connected with differences in ways that are going to support. So the Teens Teach Technology is utilizing an organization that's fully developed and established called Cyber Seniors. So we need teen volunteers to implement the training necessary to support individuals using the technology and the portable tech labs that are going to be delivered to the facilities. From not being able to be in contact with the residents at the facilities, we have implemented carograms and grams. So carograms and grams is messages and music and content being delivered monthly to the facility. So a DVD is presented to them, giving them some, connection in the world. So that's been really great. Ways that we need volunteers are, we're trying to initiate additional programming into hospice. So we want music for end of life and, the Teens Teach Technology. So we currently have no paid staff. And luckily, the funding that we've received from all those great organizations that I mentioned have allowed us to do some programming. We need teens to support the seniors in our communities, and that broader scope, the intent is to make sure that the seniors that need the technology and or individuals that have accessible needs, so including veterans who have mobility needs or vision needs, that we're really getting in there and supporting individuals who have those needs with their technology. There's so many opportunities for volunteering. For behind the scenes, we need someone to coordinate the music classes. So be an online Zoom manager. So whoever, Paul, you have doing the Zoom management, while I teach classes or try to connect with the individuals that we're participating with, I need someone kind of managing the behind the scenes Zoom and goodies. We need administrative support. We need social media support, video editing. When we hold events, we need event support. I try to be present at every event, and I'm going to do live streaming. Thanks to Bonnie's recommendation and support, we're going to start live streaming events in our community through those portable tech labs. So yeah, so we're out doing all those things, and we're a small board. And what I would say with every board and small nonprofit in our county, and I'm guessing probably in the other counties too, board support is something that is just, important. If we have a strong, healthy board, then the need for the volunteers isn't as demanding. But I think that we have so many great organizations supporting our communities that there is a big need for volunteers. And yeah, so that's what I would say. So thanks.
Great, Tricia. Thank you. Great points. And it's awesome you guys are getting these messages and incorporating music to these people who are stuck in these places. But I'm addicted to music. So anytime music's incorporated into learning or connecting, I'm all for it. Does anybody have any questions for Tricia and Harmony and me from Curry County?
Yes, I was just going to say, Tricia, this is Doreen from South Coast Hospice, and I sent you a direct message. So I'd love to talk to you about kind of working on some things together. Sounds great.
Yeah, I have programming ready to go. It's called CODA. So it's music for end of life. So CODA is an end of a musical piece. And I have a lot of the logistics worked out for us already. Just some fine tuning, cross T's, dot I's, find the funding and make it happen.
Awesome. Love it when you guys make these connections. Somebody also wanted to hear from Waterfall. Courtney or is it Nicole? One of y'all want to share? Did we lose Courtney?
Nope, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. You moved on the screen.
I think Nicole is going to start with the presentation.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my cursor there.
That's all right.
So, do you want to give me screen sharing capabilities, and I can show these slides?
Yes, I'm going to
too?
briefly
Okay.
make you wait. You keep moving around on me. Hold on. Oh, Joshua, can you make Nicole from Waterfall co-host? You have the power, sir.
Well, while he's doing that,
You're good to go, Nicole. Sorry.
Oh, great, thanks.
Thanks, Josh.
Let's see if I can screen. There it is. For those of you that don't know, Waterfall is a federally qualified health center. Oh, that didn't work. That was not the right screen share.
Volunteer opportunities. It looks right.
Oh, it doesn't look right. Oh, perfect. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So Waterfall is a federally qualified health center, and you might be asking yourself, why would a health center be asking for volunteers? Well, we have a brand new volunteer program, and we have some really cool opportunities for people to come and help us build our social health program. Waterfall is an integrated health center, so we have physical health, mental health, behavioral health, and social health. And this is the recognition that a person's social needs greatly affect their health and well-being. And so we have this wonderful leadership who has allowed us to build this new volunteer program to better serve our community. And so some of our opportunities that we have that are available: we're starting a new garden program. Let me flip to, there we go. Ooh, there's a shovel. Courtney put this together, so great job. But we've started a new garden program that includes a therapeutic garden up at our Coos Bay clinic up on Marshfield campus. It includes a greenhouse for trying to build our vegetable starts and produce to help supplement our nutrition programs. It also will include a sensory garden at our new autism center, which is over across the street from the Coos Bay Fire Station. So there's lots of opportunities here to involve volunteers in the planning of these places and helping us fundraise and actually, getting your hands in the dirt and planting and building, as well as helping to maintain those gardens once they get started. So lots of good stuff with the garden program, and it's pretty exciting that we're able to start this program. Our next volunteer opportunity is our Veggie RX program. This is our nutrition program where we look at food as medicine, and we provide free produce to Waterfall patients. There's no stipulations. We work in close connection with Orca and South Coast Food Share and other local partners to provide produce to patients free of charge. And so we're always looking for volunteers to come and help us distribute produce when patients show up. Our third opportunity is parking lot bingo. So this is kind of a fun way, this parking lot bingo grew out of COVID, essentially. We recognized that with the onset of the pandemic, we saw an increase in social isolation, which then, decreased people's health and well-being and mental health. And so we thought, well, what can we do to help the community? And so we started doing monthly bingo sessions where we, yes, you have to have a car, but we have a parking lot bingo. We transmit calling numbers over the radio. People can stay in their cars, and all the prizes are from local businesses. So we're trying to stimulate that economy, as well as get people out of their house, have some communication in a way that is safe. So we're always looking for bingo callers, because I'm sure that the community is tired of listening to me and probably Courtney and our terrible jokes that we tell when we're calling bingo. We're always looking for people to help us park cars and to run prizes out to cars, and it really is a fun event that we do. Our last opportunity is working in connection with the Coos Bay Farmers Market. We have either a canopy, or we bring our mobile unit, our mobile clinic, and we hand out masks and hand sanitizers and have information about waterfall services and community health. So we're always looking for folks to come and join us there. So please feel free to contact us if you have any questions about any of these opportunities. We will have a fillable application eventually, because we just figured out how to make it fillable. We'll have it on our website, but Courtney has put in the chat box our contact information, and we're going to try to make this as easy as possible for people who want to come and work with us. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, just a couple of things I'll add real quick. Our next parking lot bingo that's coming up is next Wednesday, April 7th. So if you're interested in volunteering, that's coming up quick. And then as far as incentives for our volunteers, we do have some t-shirts, some swag for our volunteers. We will provide you with an orientation and a lunch at that orientation. And then we also have a free yoga class for our employees. That's been going on now for a couple months, and we got clearance that any waterfall volunteers would also be able to take advantage of that class, which is every Monday and Thursday night at our new Autism Therapy Center location. So just wanted to add that. But yeah, we're really excited. This is our first time launching a volunteer program, and thank you for inviting us to be here, Paul. And yeah, lovely to spend the afternoon with you all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nicole and Courtney. Great stuff going on at Waterfall. Glad to hear it. Let's see. Like I said, at 1, Stacy's going to demo our volunteer page on the local South Coast Connects website. Who's next on the list, Joshua, that we haven't heard from today? Maybe we can squeeze in 1 or 2 more. Oh, Gold Beach Community Center, right?
I think it's South Slough Reserve.
Okay, Deborah's here somewhere, I believe. I have so many people on my screen.
Right here.
There you are. Go ahead, Deborah.
Oh, hi. Thank you for doing this, Paul. We really appreciate it. And it's been great listening to all the work that everyone's been talking about. And I work out at the South Slough Reserve. Behind me and my screen background is a picture of our visitor center, which is currently closed to the public. However, our trails and waterways are open daily from dawn till dusk. Our reserve is located in the town of Charleston, Oregon, and we take care of this place, and we'd like to thank the Native people who take care of the land and water for thousands of years. The Coquel Indian Tribe, Confederated Tribes of Coos, Lower Umpqua and Siuslaw Indians, and Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians have a long history here, and we honor them and their past and modern cultures. Some of the volunteer activities that we have available kind of fit into the 3 programs that the reserves offer. We're part of a system of nationwide reserves. There's 29 reserves in the system, and all the reserves provide an education and outreach component, a stewardship component, and a science research component. And volunteers can participate in one or any combination of those that they would like. So for example, this morning I was out with our field staff planting eelgrass shoots for a project where we're growing eelgrass beds in areas where they've deteriorated. So if a person were to volunteer for something like that, we would have you come to our lab, we'd suit you up in some waders, and you would need to be able to be comfortable walking on a tide flat and doing a tiny bit of hiking. And then pretty much the researchers direct you of what's needed to be done. Usually someone needs to write things down on a sheet, which is usually the easiest thing for a volunteer to do. In this particular instance, someone's planting plants, someone else is measuring them, but they're all things that can be easily taught and our researchers are usually really patient. As I'm not from a research background, I get to be the guinea pig on all the volunteer activities. So that's something that helps me kind of write up the volunteer, what's needed for each project. Education volunteers, those are something that we often need right now. With the pandemic, we have not been offering public education programs. However, we just got approved to start hosting school groups again. Of course, schools, many of them are not anywhere near ready to come out for a field trip, but for those that are, we're here for them, and we will begin folding in volunteers once we're allowed to have larger groups. So education volunteers help with quite a number of things. They help guide hikes. We have hands-on interpretive programs that we do with the general public. And soon we will be going back to our Estuary Explorers after school program. And that's something where volunteers who maybe aren't as mobile, that need to be in a classroom setting rather than outside and hiking and those sorts of things. We still need other adults to help us deliver these after school programs to kids, which usually have a science and an art component to them, as well as a outdoor but pretty easy walkable kind of activity outside. It might be using binoculars to look at birds or, something along those lines. So we have opportunities for volunteers to help with stewardship. We're starting a new trail stewards program that we'll be putting an announcement about to become a trail steward. And that could be anything from as simple as you already hike our trails and you just want to sign up to be a volunteer. You get a special hat, and you just report anything unusual that you see, a downed tree or, a lot of trash somewhere, or maybe a weed outbreak of some kind or something. It could be something more in depth where you sign up to help us with bigger projects like building bridges and moving water and kind of more of the heavier lift kind of trail work. Or maybe you're a volunteer that just likes to come to periodic group volunteer events that we do, giant weed pulls just for one day, or, a trash pickup or something like that. So there's that opportunity. And then last but not least, besides our other research volunteer opportunities, is we need help with things like photography. We need people to help read stories to children. We'll continue our virtual story time even once the pandemic's over. So that's always an opportunity for volunteers to be able to kind of share, especially if you're not as able-bodied and willing to hike through the forest with a machete or something along those lines. So we have something for everyone. You don't have to have any special background or training. We teach you pretty much what you need to know. When we open back up again, we need front desk volunteers that can greet our visitors and make sales in our bookstore. And then our Friends of South Slough board also is always looking for people to serve on the board. So there's quite a number of things. I'll put my contact info in the chat, and feel free to contact me or just go to our website to the Get Involved page, and it tells you how to volunteer.
Great. Thanks, Deborah. So many different volunteer opportunities. And I love how most all of the organizations need your skills. If you've noticed, like, it doesn't matter what it is. You might be a photographer, you might be a hiker, you might be a teacher. Almost all these organizations need a variety of skills. So don't think you have to foster to work with every child, or you have to know about the trails to work with the slough. Does anybody have any questions for Deborah about the South Coast Slough? Cool. Stacy, you ready? Go ahead and unmute.
Let me unmute myself. Yes, I'm ready.
Cool. Wait 1 second. I'm gonna. Joshua, you back with us?
Yeah, we lost power.
Oh.
Joshua's actually at the library. I can't believe I'm having better luck in my home than he's.
Sorry, everybody.
No problem. So right now I want to take a quick break to share a way to share your volunteer opportunities online via South Coast Connects. I have Stacy Reynolds, the project manager for our community website, with us. Did you want to do a little intro before we start the video, Stacy?
Yeah, I have a little intro, a little information. So, hey, everybody, it is awesome to see so many people participating. This is so great. So kudos to Paul and his team for putting this together. I'm excited to talk to you guys about what I have to share with you about South Coast Oregon Connects. It's a community website. I think this is a great opportunity for everybody on this call. So in short, I'll introduce what the site's about, and then I'll show you, we have a little video to show you a specific tool on the site. So like I said, this is a community-based website, and it's Coos County specific. And it's a place where we are gathering all the resources and creating this cohesive amount of information about Coos County and all the different organizations and both nonprofit and businesses that you guys have in your community. And then anybody can come visit and see what we have out there. We have a place to share news stories. We have a place to share the volunteer opportunities for our community. We have a great press release tool. We do a special project feature every month, and we have a calendar of events. And we also are making an effort to post anything on the site onto our Facebook page as well. So the other great thing about this site is, although I'm the project manager and I'm here to help you all use it, it is community driven. So it is so easy to use and so easy to participate in this that you can populate with your information on your own, and you don't have to wait for somebody to do that for you. We are also a part of a bigger partnership called the Community Website Project, and there's a network of websites like this for counties all through Southern Oregon and Northern California. Curry County has Wild Rivers Coast, or Wild Rivers Connect, rather. I think I said it right. Sorry, I saw them posted up there, so I'm glad you guys reminded me to mention that too today. So Curry County, we have our own resource too, and they're here on the call, and so they can even share their website if somebody would. That would be awesome. So those in Curry County can check that out. I just want to share a little more information, then we'll launch that video. Since the website for Coos was launched last year, it's about this time, spring of last year, and just it did a phenomenal job. There's 46 organizations already that are on our directory. We have over 107 registered users, and the site has received over 3,400 visits. So we do have a good amount of activity that's happening. And then on our Facebook page, we have over 400 followers, and our posts get a lot of viewings. So we're really happy to be able to offer that as another free resource designed to add value to the community. So, but today specifically, I'm going to share with you how to register on the site and how to use our volunteer resource that's available through the site. And then we will post a couple links after the video. So we do have a YouTube, but all these videos are available on YouTube for you to view later. There's another YouTube video that gives a really full explanation of the site. And then the last thing I want to say is, if you sign up as a user or put a directory listing on our site this month, you will automatically be entered to in a raffle to win a $25 gift certificate to Denny's Pizza. So if you haven't already done it, we have a really good reason to do it this month. So Paul, fire that video up. Thank you.
Joshua, don't forget to click share computer sound when you share the video. Thank you.
All right.
You got it, Doc?
Yep, I got it.
Cool.
Share sound. Okay, everybody can see?
Yes.
All right, so let's dive right in. This is our website, South Coast Oregon Connects. The URL is southcoastconnects.org. we will include a link in our follow-up information. The first thing you'll need to do, unless you've already done so, is create a registration on our website. I'm currently logged in, but when you aren't, instead of log out right here, it will say register. It's a very simple process. You shouldn't experience any difficulties. One step in the process is to confirm your email. So once you've submitted your registration information, you'll receive an email, and you just need to go into your email account and confirm that email address is active. Then you can come back and log in. Once you've logged in, this is pretty much what you're going to see, minus this black bar. That is because I'm an administrator. And the next thing I would encourage you to do is actually create a directory listing for your organization. That's right over here. As you can see, we have nonprofit and business listings. Feel free to choose which one would work for you, but you start under add your listing. This process is very straightforward, pretty much self-explanatory. There is a guide though if you get a little hung up, or feel free to reach out to me at contact@southcoastconnects.org. That information is right up here, and I will do what I can to help you out. A couple of details I want to point out in this process is please select a category that helps our users when they do visit the site to dial in and really find the information they're looking for. You are welcome to add a category if the ones we have don't work for your organization. And the next piece is add a photo or a logo for your listing. It really enhances it and makes it pop when you visit our directory. Now, for the purpose of why we're all gathered here today, I want to show you our volunteer listing feature. It's right here in the middle of the site. This is used for people who are seeking to volunteer in the community and for those of you out there looking for volunteers. We do have a couple listings up right now, but let me walk you through adding your own listing. Let's jump over to this tab where I have that started. It's, again, everything on the site is so easy and quick. You fill this out with your opportunity name. Now, every Child Coos has several different opportunities, so they just chose to go with the name of their organization, and in their description, they list the opportunities they have available. And the dates and times, maybe you have very specific dates and times. In this instant, it's flexible depending on what the volunteer can do. So we just put in flexible, put in a very general location because they have multiple needs, but you can also put a specific address in. Additional skills needed, if any. You'll note it is required to put something in there. Additional information if you need that category, fill that out. And then again, select the category. It's very important. If there's an expiration date, here's an opportunity to put that in here. And I do go back and personally clean these up, so you don't have to worry about that. Follow up later. And then the most important part is contact information. How can people get in touch with you? And contact availability is another opportunity here. You can put flexible if you'd rather use that. That is pretty much everything, excuse me. Once you've done, you just submit it and it gets posted live to our site. Once I see that, I do share that information over on our Facebook page. So it does extend your reach. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you for the opportunity to share this resource with all of you today.
Perfect. And I want to thank Stacy for joining us from her car and recording this because she had to run to the airport in Medford, I believe.
Yep.
So much appreciated. Did anybody have any questions for Stacy about the site?
I do. I have a question. Your presentation was an excellent one for organizations. What about a potential volunteer going to the site? What is there?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. So thanks for that question. When you go to that same tab, you can view all the opportunities that there are available.
You do not have to be registered in order to do that. That resource is, you only need to register if you're going to post an opportunity. So if you want to look for one, just visit South Coast Oregon Connects and click on that tab and you can see everything that's available. And then because we asked for the individual opportunity contact information, you can just contact them directly from there.
Great question, Ron. Thank you.
Could you give us the link again, please?
Yeah, can you put that in the chat so everybody has that?
Do you have those links, Joshua?
I put them both in the chat. I put the Coos and the Curry websites in the chat.
Oh, great. Thanks, Jen.
Yes, thanks, Jen.
Awesome.
And then Stacy, I was just going to ask, this is Trisha, is there a way for my organization to participate in Coos if we're expanding into?
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we have organizations on the site that are outside of Coos, but offer resources to Coos County. So yes, definitely.
Great. Good question, Trisha. Yeah, everybody's welcome, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Sorry, I have a personal investment. I've been on the steering committee for the website since we started it way back when with Jen, and a lot of you know Char Luther. And I've recently joined the community website partnership board of directors. So it's a great site, great organization. We're just looking to build it up. You'll notice right now there's not a lot of volunteer opportunities because Stacy's cleaned up a lot of the old expired ones. So we really want to build that back up and let people in the community know about your opportunities. So please populate the page. Joshua, can you cover for a few minutes?
Learn about this. One question I had is there like an interface between your Facebook page and this website? Like, does it take people there?
Well, we just, other than having the social link up in the corners of the page, we don't have like a direct link that, points people to that direction. Really, the website is the hub. And then I personally review the web information every day and am making posts over on our Facebook page. That's a really good thing to look for to make that more obvious. But I just wanted to make sure all of you knew that's something we also do when you're part of this website. So it gives you that additional reach.
Thank you.
Great. Does anybody else have any questions for Stacy or any of the other organizations?
There was a question in the chat, Joshua, I guess I could just read it. Somebody asked, they said they just tried to register and the email confirmation has not yet arrived. Does it take a while for that to take place?
Sometimes it can. Sometimes it can. It does depend sometimes on the email server you're using. I've heard of ones that will block that confirmation email from coming through. So what I'll do, if it doesn't come through by the end of the day, just do a follow-up email with me and I'll just go make your registration active in the back end. So whoever asked that question.
Okay, anybody else? Good. Just a reminder, if you guys want to have a breakout room session with any of the attendees or any other organization, just let me know and I'll set that up for you guys. Okay, so I guess we'll keep going down the list. Next, United Way with Jen Schaefer.
Great, thanks Joshua. Thanks everyone for being here. It's really, really great turnout. I'm impressed. Appreciate everyone's interest. So United Way of Southwestern Oregon serves Coos and Curry counties, and we are part of a larger United Way network nationally. We are locally governed, and locally community priorities drive our local efforts here. So our primary role in the community is as a fundraiser and funder for nonprofit organizations and community organizations serving the South Coast. We typically do this through an annual grant making program. So last year, right before COVID hit, we were able to get $28,500 out to 16 organizations in Coos and Curry counties. And then throughout COVID, we were able to raise and distribute over $250,000 to nonprofits and community organizations serving Coos and Curry counties. The way we do this is through a volunteer grant allocation committee. So we recruit members from the community who have a vested interest in the health, education, and financial stability of our coastal residents who want to give back. Volunteers for our annual program, volunteers typically will review applications, go out and do site visits. Some of you have participated in site visits, either as a volunteer or as an applicant who are on the call today, and actually get together as a committee to discuss funding recommendations to make to our board of directors. It's a really fascinating way to get to know the organizations in your community. I know the volunteers who serve on the committee, you know, that you may know what the SAFE project does, or you may know what Harmony and Me does, but until you actually sit down with the director or the program staff and really understand the ins and outs and their needs, you don't know what they do. So it's a really great way to get to know your community, community organizations that are serving our residents on the coast. If you're interested in that, please let me know. Our summer program is expected to kick off maybe June, July. We're still working out the details there, but that will be our annual grant making program. The other thing we do during the summer is we typically do a day of caring where we recruit volunteers from the community to help seniors and people with disabilities and other folks in need who could use a little help with basic yard work. So lawn mowing, weed whacking, cleaning gutters, things like that. Typically that happens on one day in the summer, and we get everybody all together and we have a big breakfast and then we have a big barbecue afterwards. Obviously last year we couldn't do that because of COVID. So we ended up still doing it, but we spread it out over 3 months and did the volunteer opportunities in very discrete timeframes with specific projects and specific volunteers. So small groups outside, it was totally safe. Everyone had a great time. We were able to help about 20 homeowners who needed help with yard work last year. So it's a little bit smaller. This year, we're hoping to beef that up a little bit and get more help into the community. So if you're interested, either as your I know Waterfall had a team during our 2019 Day of Caring, and we had some great volunteers from SWAC and some other folks last year who Zonta came out and did a couple of houses last year. So we're looking for teams of volunteers, and we also will be looking for referrals for the program. So if you know someone who is in need of some yard work assistance, we'll be reaching out to you once we have the details of the program confirmed. We will reach out for referrals for the program as well. So those are our 2 big things that are coming up this summer.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. And thank you for supporting many of the organizations on the screen today and others. We appreciate our United Way.
We appreciate all the work that you guys do. It's amazing.
Yes, definitely. Joshua, who haven't we touched in with yet?
We haven't spoken with Washed Ashore, Donna Hutchinson.
Oh, let's hear.
Hi. Hang on a minute. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Anyway, we are an organization that we make aesthetically powerful art to teach not only Coos County, but throughout the United States and Canada about ocean pollution. And we are always looking for volunteers that are willing to help us build sculptures by making small components that go on. One of our newer opportunities will be where we can actually send either a group or an individual kits. Cool. Where you will take the pieces and we'll have instructions to put them together. Some of it's as simple as putting a piece of plastic on a wire. Others involve what we call wire sewing, where you're going to put it through a piece of mesh, maybe drilling holes. We are going to be reopening the gallery when it's safe, probably by early summer. And we're getting ready to build a bald eagle, which is what we're going to be having the kits available for. We are also going to be starting Henry, our big orange fish, is going to be retiring. He was a rock fish. We are going to be building Henrietta. We already have her frame out. And she is going to be a tiger rockfish. Since we are located in Bandon, we decided the Bandon Tigers is our local group. So we're looking for, once the gallery reopens, we may be using volunteer docents again. We have a wonderful education website on our website, washashore.org/learn, and it's a full curriculum on environmental pollution and different art projects and things you could do to go along with it. There's a one of the pages that's a lot of fun. There's like an I Spy game in it and various things that work with various age groups.
Thank you, Donna. Anybody have any questions for Washed Ashore and Donna?
I do. Hey, Donna, do you take volunteers to help sort the plastic bits into the right colors and sizes?
At times, yes. With the pandemic, we've been trying to do a lot of that ourselves right now, but when the gallery was open, we always had a sorting station available. There's lots of things that we can come up with, lots of different fun volunteer activities.
Very good, thank you.
Good question, Jean, thanks. Who haven't we heard from, Joshua?
We have Gold Beach Community Center.
There they are. Finally.
Yeah, hi, thank you. This is very, very informative. I'm Dee Ragsdale with Gold Beach Community Center and Janet Jeffrey. We're here together. What we do, our mission is to provide a gathering place to enhance the quality of life for the young to old in our community. We recently, last year, changed our name from the Gold Beach Senior Center to the Gold Beach Community Center. So if you are familiar with the old Senior Center, that's where we're located. And we did this to become more inclusive for the entire community of Gold Beach and beyond. We currently, during COVID, our primary focus has been on meals and helping to reduce food insecurity in the greater Gold Beach area. We serve people from Euchre Creek, about 12 miles north, out to Lobster Creek Bridge, 12 miles east, and Pistol River, 12 miles south. So a large area. We have homebound seniors and disabled persons that we deliver meals to with volunteers. We moved to a takeout meal service, and we have takeouts on Tuesdays and Fridays for anyone in the community to come and pick up a hot lunch, plus some frozen lunches for later in the week. And we have just recently gone into a partnership with the Curry County Homeless Coalition to provide hot meals for homeless individuals. And our meal service, which we've been like just laser focused on with reducing insecurity around food, we served just shy of 10,000 meals since COVID. We do, and there was a little dip there it varies, each month, depending on, our clients, if somebody's in the hospital or it just varies with homebound. Sure. And right now our lunches, we serve about between 1,100 and 1,300 lunches a month out of our little kitchen in Curry County, or excuse me, here in Gold Beach. Very busy, very, very busy. So we need help in a couple of different ways. And let me just also say that because of COVID, we had big dreams of beginning an intergenerational program, and we had to put that a little bit on hold. but we are gearing up again, hopefully for summer, to start at a reasonable pace to offer a youth program with adults. So our needs right now are many, but let's just say focused on some priorities. Fundraising and events. When we're able to open, we are going to need some help with event coordination and funding for fundraising. That's just kind of a fun thing to do, and something that I think if somebody's interested, we'd love to hear from you. Intergenerational activities. We're currently taking volunteer list of adults who have interests, skills, or talents that they would like to share with youth. And that would be, say, anything from knitting to robotics to music, anything that an adult would like to share and help to educate and just work with youth. As you might know, in Gold Beach, we have not many opportunities. We don't have many opportunities for youth in Gold Beach. And so we are hoping to be a safe, comfortable gathering place where youth can come on a given day and time and engage with adults and seniors. And I've talked to Tricia. We just talked yesterday about some maybe potential opportunities there, which is exciting. And Jan and with bonnie.ell, with the foster families, maybe we can do some collaboration with in that area, which would be really awesome to give some respite. So intergenerational activities. We also, so if you're an adult and you have something you want to share with youth, and we're going to have a training program. We're partnering with the 4-H with their training program for how adults work with youth, and also the juvenile department here in Gold Beach, Wendy Lang. And if you like meeting and greeting people, you've heard that a couple times, on Tuesdays and Fridays, we do takeout lunch from 11 to 1. Anybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome, regardless of ability to pay, because we do not charge for our meals. So that 1,100 to 13 meals a month, we don't charge for them. We ask for a donation, but it's very private. We don't know who donates or how much. It's all donation based. But if you love to meet and greet and talk to people in the area and would like to work the desk on a Tuesday or Friday, that's like a 2-hour commitment, and be the person to meet somebody and then make sure they get their lunch from our kitchen. Our excellent cook has been there over almost 12 years, Mark Ferris, and the food is wonderful. It's very home-based, and all of you are welcome anytime you're in Gold Beach between on a Tuesday or Friday. Office help. We have our organization has been around since 1970s, and we have a lot of historical. Our building is historical. It used to be on the north side of the Rogue River, and it was moved in the 80s over to the south side of the Rogue River. It's about a 6,000 square foot building. We have to replace our roof this year, and we're working very, very diligently to try to get the funding together to replace our roof, which is leaking like a sieve. So anything around maintenance and help in or office support is desperately needed. So if you like to be behind the scenes doing that type of activity, yard maintenance, we have almost an acre of land and a part of it is grass and open area, and we'd like to do something eventually with that area, but so yard maintenance. I think that covers it.
I think so. We're focused on two main things, obviously, food security and social security for all ages. So we're really interested in getting the oldsters and the youngsters together so that they can communicate and share. And we want one more safe place in our small city and the greater Gold Beach area for security for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you both. So yeah, there's some opportunities to help the Gold Beach Community Center become more inclusive.
Yes.
Thank you all. Melissa from the Farmers Market. I don't think we've heard from you yet.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Melissa.
Yeah, it's getting exciting. Got lots of exciting news. One thing is the map is changing this year. Because of construction, the food court is actually going to be in the parking lot by Jenny's. So it's going to be really fun. We're excited. We're looking for new volunteers. We've got a grant in right now that we're looking at doing a cooking club, which we have our pre-COVID and with COVID. So it kind of depends on what happens when that opens up. The thing that we're looking for is people to help us possibly set up trash cans in the morning, help us check in farmers, our vendors. We do SNAP, EBT, and double up food bucks. So we're looking for someone to come help. Oops. Oh, what happened?
Melissa, we can't hear you.
I was kind of hoping this year we would be no COVID, but that didn't happen. However, I am optimistic. We have a meeting with the governor's staff later this week, and then we have another one next week. So depending on when we ever get out of extreme, we might be able to bring back some more fun things. But we are opening May 5th, so 9 to 2. And we're looking for some volunteers. You don't have to stay the whole time. You could volunteer a couple hours. You can email me at coosbayfarmersmarket@gmail.com or check out what's going on our Facebook page.
Great. Thank you so much, Melissa. I can't wait for the farmers market to be open again.
I know. We're getting the applications now. So as their vendors are coming in, I'm like, oh, I like that one. And this one's coming back. Oh, and check out that food cart. So yeah,
nice.
I'm really
looking forward to it. Is the Visitor and Convention Bureau Center still here? Or they might have stepped away. Oh, I know we haven't heard from Grant at Every Child Coos.
I mean, it's kind of hard to add up following up Bonnie, but I kind of posted in the chat box a few times here that Every Child Coos, we work together, community members and partnerships with the Oregon Department of Human Services to aid with vulnerable children and families all throughout Coos. We have a Facebook page and a link, which is just everychildcoos.org. But really our primary focus is working with the kids in care to make sure that we meet tangible needs, like we were talking about diapers or clothing or a lot of those needs that are urgent. And sometimes kids are placed, at a moment's notice and they don't have any of the supplies. So we work to get those out to the foster families. We also work to get the foster parents have a night out. We just started a COVID style where we do it individually. We get a, outdoor seating at a restaurant and stuff like that. We've also started doing a parents' night in. So just a box full of goodies and stuff that they can do as a family. But I really don't have anything to add after what Bonnie had to say. But yeah, we're working on some cool stuff. We actually just started a tutoring program because that's been a huge thing throughout our community for our kids in care because they haven't been getting that consistent support. But that'll start next week. We're working on our trauma training for our tutors and are hoping to get that off the ground.
Great. Thanks, Grant. Anybody have any questions right now before we move on?
I was just wondering if Grant is in need of more volunteers for the tutoring program.
Sounds like it.
We always need more volunteers, no matter what it is.
Or for more tutors that this group might have contacts with or know of people from the community, retired teachers, or I didn't know where you were at with those.
Well, we have 4. They actually are all teachers, except for one's a social worker. So no, we're always in need more tutors, especially math.
Okay.
Math is always a big one.
Excellent. Good question, Bonnie. Darcy, did you have a question?
I do. So tutors, you're talking about homework tutors and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now it's all virtual due to COVID. So we're working through Zoom. Hopefully, in the future, we can start doing a little more in-person activities. And as we get this off the ground, we're hoping to add some of the enrichment activities like music, painting, stuff like that. But until the tutoring program's off the ground, we're going to focus on that.
Cool. Thanks, Grant. Doreen, you want to tell us about hospice? Unmute.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, hi. South Coast Hospice provides compassionate and quality end-of-life care for patients who need that support, and also guidance for their family members, their caregivers, and grief support to those who've lost a loved one. And to do all of this, we require a lot of volunteer help. Now, unfortunately, due to the pandemic and the vulnerability of our patients, we've had to kind of stop using volunteers for a while. But when it's time, we will be welcoming them. We've missed them so much. We know now just how much we rely on our volunteers. So if people are interested, we have many openings. There are clerical positions, like many of you have mentioned, data entry, mailings, projects that come up from time to time, like the funding we receive from United Way to make care bags for our patients and their families with COVID, to help them do infection control. We need help with graphics and social media. A lot of the technology, as you saw, as I could not even get myself unmuted, right? So we could use all this help with events, fundraising, and of course, the number one thing for hospice care is the volunteer that help with the patients directly. They do the emotional, social support. Some provide music, others are involved in pet therapy. Some may run errands for these folks. And to be a patient volunteer, we have a 33-hour training program on the death and dying process, which helps people be better prepared to support somebody who's terminally ill. And we've had a lot of people tell us who've taken it that it's even helped them with caregiving for family members who were chronically ill. So it's a great training to take, and it's all free, of course. So we would love to see people let us know they have an interest in becoming a volunteer. So when we do have the next training class, we can be sure to invite you. Now, we do have openings that are available at our thrift store, and I'm going to let v.pirtle, who is our store manager, tell you about those.
Thank you, Doreen.
Yeah, thanks, Doreen.
We actually have quite a bit of openings available. We have such a great staff right now, and with volunteer staff, that is amazing. Without volunteers, it's hard for us to get things on the floor. And we kind of have a quality that we like, so we don't look like a typical thrift store. The reason why the store came about was Medicare and Medicaid and private insurance only pay so much of our patients' care. And so the store is to back up what those insurances don't pay. And so we try to keep our prices low enough for the community and to also help out our patients for what their insurance doesn't pay for. We have just about every department. It's from glassware to, that's just either cleaning, sorting, doing some research on it. We have picture frames. If you're into art, if you have any specialties, we're always welcome. People who love books, know books, you know, come on in. We can use the help, the knowledge. Everybody loves to learn about different items. You get to set your own hours and your own day. So we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. And you can just pick whenever you want to come in. We will be opening up our airport processing center hopefully soon. And we're going to be needing a lot of volunteers to help out with that part of our organization. And that entails a lot of sorting. And there again, you pick your own days, your hours, and which area you want to work in. We have just about every department from man cave, mercantile aisle stuff, which is gardening, tools, automotive, pet supplies, you name it. We have such a variety of donations that comes from this community that it's amazing to me. So I just, if you want to come join our team, give us a call. Come down, fill out, we have an application process and we can get you started.
Great. Thanks, Vicki. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Anybody have any questions for hospice? We have a couple more organizations I want to hear from before we wrap it up. Very good. Melanie from South Coast Business, are you here?
I am here.
There you are.
Hi. I'm here, although for once I don't have very much to say. Tomorrow is my official start date with South Coast Business as the in-home services coordinator for aged and disabled. So the purpose of me being here is to just really observe and see what partnerships I can come up with. I've come up with a whole entire list of prospective partnerships and prospective volunteer opportunities. So I don't have much to say for once, so enjoy that because I do have a very big mouth. But yeah, hi to all my partners. Hi. There's a lot of them that I know. So I'm really glad to be back on board with Curry County, serving Curry County. So yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say. Next time.
Thanks for joining us, Melanie.
Of course.
Go ahead, Gordon.
I was going to say, it's really good to see you back.
Hi, Gordon. That's great to be back. So I look forward to it.
And I think the only one we haven't heard from yet is HIV Alliance. Think.
Hello.
Hi, Patty.
I'm the volunteer manager at HIV Alliance, and I'm in Eugene. So I'm a little trying to learn more about the other counties we serve, including Coos and Curry. So I'm very excited to have this opportunity to see all of you and just have an opportunity to reach out to prospective volunteers too. Our organization's mission has always been primarily supporting people who are living with HIV and AIDS and then preventing new infections. And a big part of, we've added a lot of new services over the years, and a lot of that has focused on drug use, illicit drug use. So we do a needle exchange program. If you're not familiar with needle exchanges, it's an evidence-based harm reduction strategy where individuals who use intravenous drugs are able to bring their used syringes and we will exchange them for new ones. We destroy safely probably well over 1 million syringes every year. So these are syringes that we're keeping out of the parks and public areas. And it also prevents the spread of disease because sharing a syringe is a very high risk activity for contracting both HIV and hepatitis C. So that's another advantage of needle exchange programs. Plus the population that we serve, we have a lot of homeless folks, a lot of marginalized folks who can learn about other community resources. Sometimes, we're the only ones that they feel comfortable coming to. So, so that's a lot of what needle exchange is about. We also, as part of our needle exchange program, we distribute naloxone. And naloxone, which is also known as Narcan, is the antidote to an opioid overdose. So we can teach individuals how to use naloxone and then we distribute it. We can also teach community partners like police departments, libraries, any kind of group that wants to learn about naloxone. And, thousands of lives have been saved through distribution of naloxone. And, the opioid epidemic is really bad, and it especially seems to hit rural areas. So I know it's bad in Coos and Curry, just like it is a lot of places. So, we also do testing for HIV and hepatitis C. And for all of these opportunities, we do provide all the testing, all the training that is necessary to do that. We have an online volunteer application. We are looking for, we're going to be starting new services at Harmony Methodist Church every Tuesday from 2 to 4. So we're looking for volunteers for that. That's going to be testing, naloxone distribution, and needle exchange. We provide naloxone and adapt on the second Tuesdays of the month. We also really need volunteers at the Brookings Resource Center from 12 to 3 on Mondays. And we again do needle exchange testing and naloxone distributions at the Brookings Resource Center. We do services at Coos Health and Wellness. That's going to be transitioning at some point to Port Orford. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. But if anybody is interested in helping us with any of these volunteer opportunities and these needs, I will put my email address on there. And thank you to Jamar, who has been helping us. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Patty. And the trainings are great. They've done a number of them at the library for us, both for staff and for the public. So reach out to the HIV Alliance. We appreciate you guys informing us on how to administer Narcan, especially. Does anybody have any questions for Patty or any other organizations right now?
Thank you.
If not, I was hoping a few of you could do quick spiels again to get on the recording. Greg, could you do your spiel really quick again?
Yeah, really quick, if Addie wouldn't mind saying a few words about her experience as a CASA. We've got a couple CASAs on today. Addie Hutchinson, one of our CASAs, and bonnie.ell, of course, who does everything. But I've asked Addie if she wants to say just a few words about her experiences.
That'd be awesome.
I just want to encourage everyone who has any friends, themselves, family members, anything, who has some time on their hands, and it's not much. It's, your commitment is about 15 hours a month, to give back to some of these kids in our community who are experiencing so much trauma that you can hardly imagine. One of my young ladies was dropped off by her mother at a treatment center and left there, and her mother has not come back into her life and doesn't intend to. So, just being able to connect with a child, to establish a relationship with them, and to know that just by being there, you're helping, is really a great feeling.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Addie. Thanks for everything you're doing. That's amazing. I also wanted to see if we could get Coastline Neighbors to go really quick again, because you talked before we were recording. Wait, is Coastline Neighbors still here? Maybe not. Sue, can we get you to do your spiel again really quick? Because you also went before we started recording.
Sure. Here at Common Ground Mediation in Coos County, we provide alternative dispute resolution for all community members who are facing any type of conflict, whether it's groups, individual, family, workplace, court-connected, divorce, parenting plan. And we are in need of volunteer mediators to conduct these mediations. We provide a 32-hour mediation facilitation training, and then we walk with you. You observe mediations, and then we let you do the mediations with another trained mediator alongside until you feel comfortable conducting the mediations by yourself, on your own. But it's a wonderful opportunity to learn conflict resolution skills, communication skills, problem solving skills for yourself and for members in the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sue. Appreciate that. I just wanted to see if any of the attendees have any questions for any of the organizations today, or just in general.
One more thing I didn't bring up.
What's that, Donna?
Was that we are having for Earth Day, we're working with See and Solve to do beach cleanups up and down the South Coast. I believe solve.org is where you can sign up to participate in one of those, but all of the plastic trash from it is coming to wash to shore to go into the sculptures.
Great. Thank you so much, Donna. I also really wanted to thank my coworker, Joshua, who behind the scenes has been feeding me information and keeping me in check. And I appreciate it, sir. Wow. Thank you all so much. I wasn't sure how this would go because we'd never done a virtual fair before. Thanks. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more attendees. We had more registered than I think showed up, but I think it was beneficial for those who did. And plus now, if it's okay with all you, I can post this recording on the library's YouTube channel. So your opportunities and this day lives on, you know, because I think often people don't recruit at our actual volunteer fairs. I think the word of mouth that spreads afterwards is what really gets you volunteers later, because, you know, if you're like me, it's months later when I'm like, oh yeah, I really wanted to, you know, help that organization that deals with music or food insecurity or, you know, drug addiction, whatever it is, you know, we can all relate to one of these organizations is my belief. So thank you all so much. Great work. You guys are doing awesome work in your communities and we really appreciate it.
I did have a question.
Our pleasure. Go ahead.
Do you have a, like up here in Lane County, we have a volunteer coordinator network that we, well, not during non-COVID, we meet every other month and share information and trainings and things like that. Do you have anything equivalent to that in either county?
Not yet.
Not really. That's why I wanted to point out the website and the volunteer page on that site, because that's something we can really utilize because we don't have like a volunteer match type organization here. I think we did many years ago prior to my living here. So that was probably a decade ago.
Yeah, this is kind of like for us to do share resources and trainings and speakers, and you know, because we all have a lot of the same issues, and yeah, ours is actually through United Way, supported by United Way.
Patty, we actually have something a little bit different. It's called Social Services Connect, and Dane is actually presented. Yeah, so we get all the community organizations and community partners together once a month on the South Coast to talk about, hear from different presenters and then share information. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm still learning everything. Thank you. And thank you for doing this. This is great.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining us, Patty. And Gordon, yes, I did send out a couple reminders. I sent one out this morning and I sent one out on Monday because I was off yesterday. Sorry if you didn't get it, but I'm glad to see you. Does anybody else have anything they want to share or ask? Give people time to respond.
Well, I just want to respond to you, Paul, and really thank you for putting this together. Because I know that I would go to several of the CHARS groups up in Coos Bay, and of course we had one down here. And they were really valuable, and they've sort of gone away. And so this has been very helpful and thank you for including Curry County.
Of course, my pleasure, Gordon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
And Gordon, I know you work with an organization in Curry County. Would you like to share information about your organization while we have a minute or two?
Well, it's the Curry County Suicide Awareness and Prevention Council. It's part of the county government. And we've gotten 9 stakeholders like law enforcement and medical and behavioral and elders and tribal and the major stakeholders that have to deal with suicidality in our county. And of course, our rates here are pretty outrageous. And so we're under pressure because of the pandemic and because of all of our people are really almost 24 hours a day dealing with the pandemic. But we've done a number of things, and we put out a direct mail brochure to every household, apartment, trailer, and business in Curry County that had a listing of information on suicide risks, what the warning signs are, what to look for, and how to help. Then on the back, it had resources for Curry County with food, disability, all of that kind of stuff on it. And we wanted to have that in people's homes, so which we accomplished. And we also put it in 110 racks that are in businesses in Curry County that we've had out there with suicide prevention cards for about 6 years. And we put in a rack that held the brochures, and they're at like Tasty Kate's and TJ's and the dispensaries and the auto shops, and then of course all the healthcare places that could be there, because we really wanted to circumvent people's getting in during the pandemic to the hospital or the ER when there might be a lot of business, and try to get those people to get help from friends and neighbors. Ask, people saying, "Are you okay? You're a little off today," and get them help before they end up in dealing with law enforcement around a 911 call, or dealing with in the ER or the hospital. So help them before they really get in crisis. So that's one of the things that we've been doing.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Gordon, and thanks for the work you're doing. That's awesome.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you all so much. If nothing else, I think this was a great opportunity for us to connect and network and learn more about each other's organizations.